You the one that want to sit right there. But you want to sit right there.
Reminiscing on my ancestors, all those ships who had to keep a life, took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Putting enough to put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cost. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, wrong Israelite. Cities like kryptonite, brothers won't bring wobbling the shit tonight. Praises to the most high. I ain't like most guys. I tell the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated, and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Go cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite. Die for the Israelites, blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites.
From YAHANNA, sons of the power, rise from the dead and Satan want us to power. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church hours. Never dying on my knees like no powers. Wanna be an Israelite, you won't even go to churches. You gon' need to show you a proof of getting them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide be a victim, homicide that ended. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stop home sleeping so long, that ain't a secret. That's why I died for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, purpose better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death go through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't dead, then we don't dream of life. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites, blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites, blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, where they working trenches. Making sure I'm election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this perfection of prophesying these lessons. Protecting all adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love and reflection. No matter what the complexion, we got a common connection. I'm part of God's selection. I'm shot at the resurrection through achieving perfection. Give life, take sacrifice, battle demons every fight, short days and long nights, less sleep and more fights, more wisdom, more strife, telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of the Israelite, I ride for my Israelites, die for my Israelites. We know that cause Christ paid the price, so who ready to give their life, the life of the Israelite.
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites, blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites, blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Cause we Israelites. One YAHANNA to all my Israelites.
All right. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's a Lashawan Qadash class. You understand? Where we get into the hidden mysteries of our culture, breaking it down through the linguistics, you understand, getting into the hidden sayings, the dark sayings, the parables, you know, bringing out the practical knowledge. You understand? There's only way you're going to get it, you know what I'm saying, is in this school, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So today's subject matter that we're going to talk about, origin of land names in America. So, you know, we got some feeds, you know what I'm saying, some fake Israelite groups that like to say that Native Americans aren't Israelites, right? Not only are we going to prove that in today's class, but we're also going to prove that a lot of the lands here in America are named after Hebrew words and Hebrew phrases, you understand? And named after the people of that land. So we go, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. You understand? let's start off with all right. So the first spot we're gonna start off with is Natchitoches. You know what I'm saying? Natchitoches is in Louisiana. All right. Okay. Put this on the board for you. I'm gonna put LA for the state, Louisiana. All right. All right. So Natchitoches, right? Well, I'm gonna get into the story after I break it down. All right. So Natchitoches, all right. So let's break it down. All right. All right. So the first part of the word, nat, right, comes from the Hebrew word natah, which means to stretch. All right. Second part, Natchitoches. All right. So you have a chata, right? So chata means wheat. Seek refuge. All right. So Natchitoches or Natakasa means to stretch wheat to seek refuge. One of the number one crops in Nacogdoches, I'm sorry, not Nacogdoches, in Natchitoches is wheat. One of their number one exports is wheat. It's a land of wheat, a land of cotton, and a land of corn. But one of their number one exports is wheat. All right. Let me give you boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Natchitoches. One second. So Natchitoches, Louisiana. All right. So, number one export for Natchitoches, all right, is wheat. All right. To secure wheat to seek refuge. So that is like one of their bread and butter crops in Natchitoches to this day. You can Google it right now. All right. The next one that we're going to do, coincidentally, is right across the state line from it. All right. Is Nacogdoches. Which is in Texas. All right. The first word is knock, which means rest. All right. Next word is Gad. Which means troop, and is also the nation of Gad. Last part, the same as the bottom of this one, Chasad. Which means to seek refuge. Now look at that. Kasa. All right. So rest, Gad, to seek refuge. So you have to stretch wheat to secure refuge, and then rest, nation of Gad, to seek refuge. Not God Kasa, Nacogdoches, right? Now I'm gonna give you a story of the history of these two places. Where are we at? All right. So the story goes, all right, there were two twin sons that were born to an old Qadash Native American chief living on the banks of the Sabine River. Natchitoches was swarthy with black hair, and Nacogdoches was more of a fair yellow skin complected. As their father neared the end of his days, he called his sons into his presence to receive his final blessing, and commanded that upon his death, Natchitoches should gather his wife and children, turn his face to the rising sun, and after travailing 3 days, he should build his home and rear a tribe. Nacogdoches was instructed to face the setting sun, walk 3 days with his family, and establish a new home where he too would rear children and his children's children. Thus, the twin tribes, Nacogdoches and Natchitoches, were born 100 miles apart, one in what would become Texas and the other what would be known today as Louisiana. Now, what's interesting, this same situation happened also in the Bible. Can someone tell me the story in the Bible where two people that were relatives, you understand, they split apart. One walked in one direction, the other one walked in the other direction. Go ahead, sis.
Esau.
I give you a hint. Their servants were quarreling amongst each other. And that's the reason why they had to separate. And because they grew too great for them to dwell amongst each other. All right. I'm gonna ask Yeshaya, what is a story in the Bible where two relatives had to separate? One walked in one direction, one walked in the other direction. I'm gonna give him the chance. Hold on. I'll give you hints in Genesis.
Talking about
Other hand, you understand? We follow the same traditions over and over and over again. Lot went his way, you understand, with his people, and he continued to grow in wealth, you understand, until the Lord came and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know Abraham just continued to grow and become a great nation. You understand? All right. So we have Nachshon and Nacogdoches, Natah Katakasa, and Nakgadkasa. Right? Got it down? If I got down before I go to the next one? All right, cool. All right. The next one is Utah, the state. All right. So Utah is named after the UT people. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you, now I'm going to say it. All right. So Utah, I'm going to put in parentheses the people, is named after the UT people. Okay. All right. So Utah is Yatah in the Hebrew, which means, so I can read, which means stretched out. Now, Yatah is in the Bible, it is a town in the mountains of Judah. In the neighborhood of Mon and Carmel. You know Mount Carmel?
mm-hmm.
Now, Watch this. Let's see. And the original name of the UT people is Utataha. This name, make sure I give you the translation. All right, so the UT originates from the Apache Indian word Utaha, which means people of the mountains. In Hebrew, Yatah means stretched out, but it is also the name of a town in the mountains of Judah in the neighborhood of Mon and Carmel. But Gad, they not Israelites, right? You understand? So Utah, Judah, Judah. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Like it's almost right there. You know what I'm saying? So we are breaking down the fallacies that Native Americans are not Israelites, right? I got another state for you. My family's hometown.
That's right.
Alabama. Now, this is a known fact that the state of Alabama, the name comes from a Hebrew name. All right. So Alabama is broken down into two words. First word, Allah. I mean, what does Allah mean? Close. Go ahead.
It's like a mix of power.
Power. Come on, man. That's Islam cut 101 right there. You know, they pray to Allah, you be like, what God? You understand? What power are you praying to? All right. All right. The next word is Bama. Which means an elevation, high place, or mountain. All right. So Alabama means an elevation of power, a high place or power, or the mountain of power. All right. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, brother. Something else. All right. Okay. Well, why you copying that down? All right. So the people that are prominently from Alabama, the Native Americans, are the UT people, right? They are a part of the Creek nation. All right.
Are these the people from Nepal, or these are the people from Africa?
I'm sorry.
Are these the people from Nepal that you call Native Americans, or are they the people from Africa?
No. What does Native American mean?
Well, I understand that means people that originate from here.
Right.
But they migrated here.
Yes.
So that's the question I'm asking.
So you need to read Second Esdras, the book of Second Esdras. It tells you how the Native Americans, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, how they got over here, right?
Well, I understand they crossed that strait when it.
So that's how they got here. So that's how they got here.
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the one?
I'm talking about the nation of Gad. Native Americans is the nation of
where
Gad.
they came from.
Right. So the nation of Gad are Native Americans. The Yuchi people are a specific tribe of the Creek Nation of Native Americans. Native Americans are Gadites, period. Right? So this is a family within a family. Like prime example, right? Mm-hmm. So like my the name of my family is Woodward Winston, right? Mm-hmm. So within the Woodward Winston household, you have Woodwards, you have Winstons, you have Smiths, you have Browns, right? But they're all under the Woodward Winston umbrella. Okay? So Yuchi, right, is of the Creek Nation. The Creek Nation is under the Muskogee Nation. The Muskogee Nation is under Gad. You see what I'm saying? It's just a family within the Gadites.
Okay, but I need you to listen to my question. Where did they migrate from?
You answered the question already. We just said it was in Second Esdras, right? Yeah. So in Second Esdras, you need the scripture? You said you knew it already.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Appreciate it, brother.
I really am asking.
Where is that?
No sweat.
Because I think like when you opened up today, you said that there's a controversy about are they Israel or are they not?
No, I said there are fake Israelite groups that say that Native Americans are not Israelites.
Right. That's where my question is stemming from, I think, but I'm not quite sure. I don't know myself. I'm asking.
Second Esdras 13, you can start at verse 40. And we're going to run through it quick because, we got other stuff to go over.
Come.
This is in the Apocrypha, Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Syria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt.
Where?
Where never mankind dwelt.
So they went somewhere where never no mankind dwelt. All right? This is unknown, unsettled civilization. Right? Keep reading.
Come, verse 42. That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, For the Most High then showed signs with them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt they there.
Asherah.
Asherah.
And that means new land in Hebrew. Okay? So that's how the Native Americans got here. All right? To answer your question?
Somewhat.
No sweat, Lord in Christ.
Okay, move on.
All right. So, Yuchi, right, which is the name of the people that majority. So you have the Creek Nation and the Choctaw Nation, but majority of Alabama is held by either the Muskogee Creek and the Yuchi, right? So Yuchi is breaking down into two words, Yah and Chai, right? Yah as a prefix means first and foremost he, right? But Yah, we also know as a standalone letter means praise, right? So it can either mean praise, living praise, or praise of the living, or he that praises and is living, right? So Alabama, right, is broken down into two words, Allah and Bama, right? Which means an elevation of power, a high place of power, or a mountain of power, right? Give you a key fact also about Native Americans. Native Americans buried their dead like our ancestors did. They buried them in mountains, right? Just like we buried our ancestors in tombs, right? So they kept the traditions of our ancestors. You understand? And their mountain of power, right? Because in Alabama is the Appalachian Mountains, right? No sweat. All right. So that is the area where they buried their ancestors. All right. Okay. Everybody got this? So we got Utah, right? Which is named after UT people. The original name is Utah, right? Utah in Hebrew means stretched out, but it is the name of a town in the mountains of Judah in the neighbor of Maon and Carmel. Okay, and UT or Utah means mountain people. All right, no sweat. Everybody got this before I erase it? All right, no sweat.
You know, because they're saying now that
Who is them that are saying?
Well, you know, through the grapevine or wherever you want
What
to call it.
grapevine?
Well, of the enlightened people.
Who are the enlightened people?
Black people that study like you study. They're saying that the African Americans are the Native Americans.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Like,
do you know that their Native Americans is light? Is these sisters right here is dark or as darker as me or darker than me that are like Sambo? Because you know in the Bible it says Israel is a speckled trout. We are likened unto the ground. So you ever turned over earth before? So topsoil is the darkest soil. It's the creme de la creme. But the deeper you go into the earth, the lighter and lighter it gets, all the way to like the consistency of beach sand. It says Ephraim is an unturned cake. You ever made pancakes before? So that top layer before you flip it over, Israelite.
It could also be was the people from India.
No.
They're like that.
Those are Elamites. Those are Elamites.
But they are also light and dark.
Right, but those are Elamites. The name of their nation is Elam. No, that's not like East Indians. So you come into class to learn,
I'm just
all right, no sweat. So you ask a question.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
No sweat. It's been answered. All right, Most High in Christ. All right, so the next one we're going to do is Tallulah, Louisiana. Tallulah, Louisiana. All right. Broken down into 2 words. Tall, which means dew.
Is that the Hebrew symbols you're writing beside?
This is Paleo Ancient. I'm sorry. This is Assyrian. This is Paleo Ancient Phoenician Hebrew. They're also right here. All right. So the first word is tall, which means dew, and then lawaya, which is the second half of the word hallelujah, right? Tallulah, right? All right. Which means wreath or ornament. Tallulah means leaping or spring water, right? So you have an ornament of dew. You understand? So that is what Tallulah means, leaping water. All right, next we have Chickasaw, Mississippi. Go ahead, brother.
That's another family too.
Huh?
That's another family too.
Oh, see?
Yes, you do not go through that speed. It was them cities, it was them time.
All right, so Chickasaw, Mississippi. All right. So it's broken down into 2 words. Oh, this is the letter. So you have the letter Ch, which means to divide. Then you have Chasa, which means to seek refuge. Go to my notes. And the word Chickasaw in Hebrew means to, I'm sorry, in the name of the town means to rebel, to divide, to seek refuge, to separate, rebel. All right. So we have Tallulah, Talawaya, which means the ornament of dew, leaping water. All right. And then you have Chickasaw, Mississippi, which is also in Alabama. All right. Which is Chakasa, which means to divide, to seek refuge. And the actual Native American word Chickasaw means to rebel. In order to rebel, you got to separate. You understand? Rage against the machine. All right? All right? So this is further letting you know, you understand, that these Native Americans are our people. You understand? Their names of their towns and the names of their people translate to what the definition is in Hebrew. All right? So just like when Paleo Ancient Phoenician Hebrew is the root origin of our language, right? We went into Assyrian captivity, right? So the characteristics change, right? So over time, you understand, lingo change. You know, we're people that put slang and stuff like that. You know, it's difference between Spanish and Mexico, Spanish and Puerto Rico. You understand? It's the difference between Spanish in New York, Spanish in Texas. You understand? But it's still the same language. You understand? All right. Everybody got this before we move on? All right, no sweat. Next one. All right. The next one that we have is Nevada. Now, this is not something that we named, but something that the Spanish oppressor named. You understand? All right. So Nevada, all right. So in Yiddish, the va is a wa. All right. So it's Nawada. Which means exile. Specifically, wandering of aimless fugitives. Ironically, Nevada is the reservation established by the Spanish and Portuguese for the UT, the Walapi, the Washoe, the Shoshone, and the Paiute. This was a prison or an exile. This is where they put our ancestors when they took them off of their land. You understand? They were fugitives. You understand? This is the only place that they could go for refuge in the wilderness. You understand? So Nevada is rightly named by their oppressor, Nawada, the exile. You understand? The reservation. All right? See how much time we got. I think I got. All right, everybody got this? All right, let's go ahead. Let's see if there's any questions online. All right, well, while y'all working on that, my binder real quick. All right, everybody got it? No sweat. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna get into names of the Bible in Hebrew. Books of the Bible. All right. All right. Ezra. All right. Ezra in Hebrew is Azarah, which means help. And these are also names of prophets.
But what name is Ezra in? If the name is in Hebrew, Azarah, what language is the name Ezra?
It's phonetically translated into English.
Ezra?
Like prime example, like Matthew isn't the original name, it's Mattathias.
Yeah, but Ezra is not a common name.
There are no E's in Hebrew. There's no E's in Hebrew. Right?
That's true.
Right. Okay.
No vowels.
All right. Next one, Nehemiah.
So like, sir, would this be minor prophets or major?
These are minor prophets.
Who? Ezra? Ezra is a major prophet.
Shema, sis.
What Shema mean?
It means listen. If you have a question or a comment, raise your hand.
What your back is to?
Doesn't matter. Raise your hand until you acknowledge. The water.
Yes, sir.
This is a classroom. This is not a conversation. All right. Nehemiah is Nachmayah, which means the Most High comforts. If you remember, when we were going over the Hebrew names of the state, Nach means rest, right? So Nachmayah, right? The Most High comforts, or the Most High gives rest. All right. All right. Next one we're gonna do is Daniel. All right. Daniel in Hebrew is Dan Ya'ala, which is God is my judge. All right, while y'all writing that down, I'll give y'all a second to write that down.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
so you saying that all those are minor prophets?
You said what?
Are you saying that all those are minor prophets?
I said minor and major prophet. He asked me specifically the ones that I originally went over in the beginning, were they minor? Daniel is a major prophet, right? Obadiah is a minor prophet. Micah is a minor prophet, right?
Why would you say Obadiah is a minor prophet? Why would you say
Who was Obadiah under?
Huh?
Who was
He's
Obadiah
in the Old Testament.
Who? Answer the question. Shammai. Who was Obadiah under? Means listen. Who was Obadiah under?
What do you mean under?
Who was he under? He was under someone.
He was, I don't know about who he was under.
Right, because you don't know. It means you need to listen.
Well,
you don't know what you're talking about.
A minor prophet.
Okay, sis, Shammai, be quiet. Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do, just like Ezra.
All right, no sweat. Shammai, be quiet. Quiet. That means be quiet. The water. Everybody got this? Before I move on? No sweat.
So Danya Allah means Daniel?
Yes, Daniel in Hebrew.
So like Danya Allah.
Right. Damn right. Yeah, he got a strong name. Loki was kind of jealous. You know what I'm saying? Righteously. The boy said, I'm Qadash, the hunter. All right, you good?
One more thing.
Take a picture.
One more look.
All right, let's see.
Please wait till you address our teacher.
May I help you?
Yes. So you didn't explain why you, what you asked, the question that you asked.
I asked who was Obadiah under.
What do you mean by under?
He was under Elijah. So if there's someone over you, that means he's the what prophet? He's the prophet over you. He's the one that's in order. Just like how Moses was over all of Israel, Elijah was the head prophet over all the prophets. So if he's the head prophet, that means you're a what? A minor prophet. You're a subordinate, right? Just like there are generals, there are captains, there are officers.
We were talking about in the scheme of the book. Right?
He's a minor prophet.
He is not, because
No sweat.
Europeans say
No, I don't care what a European says. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I could give a damn what an Edomite says.
Right.
No sweat.
But it doesn't make sense what you're saying.
You want to know why it doesn't make sense? Because you're a Christian, sis.
I'm not.
And you have a Christian mindset.
I have not been a Christian.
No sweat. But you know what you need to do?
Years.
You need to come here and listen and learn.
Shema.
Shaquat. Close your mouth. All right. Micah, which is my cacao, which is who is like God. All right. Next, you have Song of Solomon, which is Shayar Shalama, which means songs of peace. So where we at on time? A couple more. Got it? I think I got room up right another one up right there. So next one we'll do is Job. All right. So Job in Hebrew is I.S.U.P.K, which means hated, which is, I mean, it's not hard to tell why his name is hated. All right. So you have Micah, which means who is like God. Song of Solomon, Shayar Shalama, which means songs of peace. And Job, I.S.U.P.K, which is hated. Y'all mean to copy that down. All right, everybody got it? If you don't, take a picture of it. Go ahead. How much more you got? All right, go ahead. Can I erase Micah and Songs of Solomon? All right, no sweat. All right, the next one I'm gonna do is songs. All right, the book of songs in Hebrew is Zamar, which means to sing praise. The next one is Proverbs. Proverbs in Hebrew is mashal, which means parable. All right, that is a good stopping point. See if we got any questions online. All right, no questions. All right. If I got everything. All right, no sweat. All right. With that, we're going to close out the class. You understand that is Friday's Lashawan Qadash class. We went over name origins of native land masses to the Americas in the beginning of the class, and we went over books of the Bible. Next week, we will continue going over books of the Bible, and we'll also get into some of the names of the apostles and the disciples. And we'll also break down the difference between a disciple and an apostle based off of the Bible. All right. And with that, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah to all the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shema Lathan by Hashem Yahweh Shah to our sisters. You understand? And with that, we gone. Shalom.
I need to ask you a question about the Passover.
What's your question, sir?